back to my YouTube channel, Little Ways, Little Things. I am in my very messy craft room, and it's messy because I've been busy working on some fun projects for you guys. And today I have two very fun projects. If you haven't been with us before, this is a homemaking channel. We do lots of fun DIY crafts, Dollar Tree decor hacks, cleaning motivation, recipes, all kinds of fun things that make homemaking just a little bit more fun for you. And today I have always wanted to make one of those succulent gardens. I'm fascinated with those things that hang on the wall and they're growing live succulents. But due to the fact that I kill every single houseplant that I get, I decided it might be more fun to do a Dollar Tree one with those Dollar Tree succulents. So I'm going to be making one of those. It has a boho vibe and I am in love with it. I think it's so fun. I would definitely do it on a little bit bigger scale since I've practiced it. So maybe you'll want to do that. And I also have a super quick little St. Patrick's Day DIY because next week is St. Patrick's Day and a lot of moms and kids and everybody is just going to be staying home a little bit more next week because of all of this coronavirus scare. So I thought maybe you would want to make it a little fun for your kids who are probably a little sad missing their friends and missing out on their spring breaks. So you could do a little St. Patrick's Day dinner, and this is a perfect little DIY that they can even help you with, and you can just set it on the table for that meal. So that's what I have for you today, and as always, I am so thankful that you're watching the videos. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so we can keep making lots of fun content. Let's get started with this cute little DIY for St. Patrick's Day. I'm using one moss sheet from Dollar Tree, one photo frame from Dollar Tree, a piece of this jute twine from Dollar Tree, two pieces of scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. One looks like Shiplap and one is kind of a bronze glitter. That brown paper is just scrap paper. I love this frame. It's so pretty. It looks like real wood. Moss sheets from Dollar Tree. I am loving them. And I think you should pick up a couple if you see them because they are super fun to use. Now I'm just unwrapping the frame from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take out the glass piece and I am not going to be reusing that. So dispose of that very carefully or keep it or whatever. Next, I'm going to trace a 4-leaf clover on the back of my moss sheet. I cut that 4-leaf clover out with my Cricut, but you can always print one onto a piece of cardstock and size it the way you want from your computer and then cut it out and use it as a template. And if you don't have a moss sheet, you can actually just brush it with some regular glue and sprinkle moss from the Dollar Tree. They sell it loose too, not just in the sheets, but you could sprinkle that on top. They usually always have bags of moss if they don't have these sheets, but I'm loving these moss sheets. They seem like they're just burlap with moss on them. And as you can see, as I was cutting it out, I got a lot of pieces that fell off, and so it started to look kind of thin and you could see the burlap. But I just used some tacky glue and it dried clear, and I just filled in any spots that looked like they needed more moss or any of the pieces that fell off that looked kind of chunky and really lots of texture. I just glued them back on. It was really easy and it added a lot of extra moss to my little shamrock. Off camera, I had cut the piece of shiplap paper from Hobby Lobby to the size of the backing, and now I'm just going to glue it right directly onto the backing. I'm going to use some hot glue, but this part you could use Elmer's glue or whatever kind of glue you have, but I'm just going to use some hot glue to adhere the scrapbook paper onto the backing of the frame. I had cut a glitter shamrock a little bit larger than the shamrock I used for the moss template, and I had cut that out of glitter. You can also do that with the printer on your computer by sizing a little bit bigger of one for for a template for that, and then I glued both of them down, and I did use hot glue to put both of them down, the glitter paper and then the moss on top of it. I'm finishing it off by wrapping some jute twine along the bottom, and I am in love with this little cute craft. I think it came out so adorable for about $2, and it makes a big statement.
Love is circles and love is first when it lasts. Daylight burns.
Let's get started with that boho succulent garden next. And I'm going to start with this Dollar Tree decor piece. It says a true love story never ends, and it is printed on a plastic canvas that is stapled to a wooden frame. I'm going to remove the hanger, and then I'm going to actually remove the whole plasticky kind of canvas. I'm going to be using a screwdriver and some needle nose pliers to get that off of there. And once I've gotten all of the staples out, I am just going to give that wooden frame a quick coat or two of paint with Waverly chalk paint in the color white.
Like highways of gold, sweet lemon breeze that flew through the cold. I belong to you. Eyes that see right through words of prose, worlds of me and you in windows of blue. A lifeline ago. Lovers gaze on an empty bridge to the west. Climbing up mountains under desert sunset. Lamp in my dreams.
The next items that I'm going to use are these beads that I found in the hair section at Dollar Tree. I bought 2 packages and they're for braiding into your hair, but I thought they were a beautiful color. Also, this twine that I always use, and I picked up 4 of the Dollar Tree succulents. I'm not sure if I'll use all 4, but those are the succulents I got. And then this is the coolest thing. I found it at Hobby Lobby. It's marked $3.99. I'm trying to get it to focus on the little tag for you, but I found it in the floral department where the floral ribbon is, and the floral ribbon was 40% off that day, so they did take 40% off this chicken wire, and I think it is the coolest thing. Look at that, it's just amazing. I'm also going to be using an easy tack gun that's like a little staple gun. I will link that down below in the description box. The next thing that we're going to do is take all of the succulents out of the little plastic containers that they came in and kind of rub off all of the white styrofoam that they were packed in. Next, I'm going to kind of speed it up and also show you that the chicken wire had a little piece of wire holding it all together. So I took that off and unrolled it. And then I'm just stapling it to the back of the frame, and I don't even really measure it. I just kind of unroll it and start to staple it. I have sped it up so that we can see how it goes pretty quickly. I went ahead and stapled it at the top and on each of the sides, and then I had some needle nose pliers that I cut it with. So that's how I trimmed it, with some needle nose pliers that have some wire cutters at the back. Then I went on to the second row and did the same thing. I stapled the second little ribbon of chicken wire onto underneath the top one, and I did the same thing. I stapled it, but then I got some little side cutters and trimmed off the pieces that were sticking out because they're sharp and it's real metal, and I didn't want anybody to get hurt, and I also don't want it to scratch the wall. So I'm going to trim those up and also bend some of them down if they're long enough, and just kind of make sure that it's safe and like I said, it won't scratch up the wall or anything that I put it up against. So after that, I pretty much did the same thing a third time, but this time I bent down some of the wires first before I stapled it on. And that's what I would recommend doing to each one of the sides from then on out. At that point, I used my side cutters to go ahead and cut the wire. And why I didn't bend both ends down, I don't have any idea. I think that's what I meant to do, and I just kind of was getting nervous and forgot because this chicken wire had me all befuddled, but it really worked out fine. I did bend those ends under on that side, and then on the other side I didn't, but I used those side cutters again to trim off those edges and just clean it up, making sure that if anybody touches it or picks it up, that they can't get poked by or scratched by any of those wires. That's it. I'm just going to go 3 across. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because I am going to staple this little piece of twine to the bottom. My intention was to make 2 rows of beads, but I didn't buy enough. So I actually only bought enough to make 1 row because it took a lot more to go across than I thought it would. So if I had to do this project again, or if I were you, I would buy 4 packages of beads and do both rows because I think it would be cuter. But in any case, since I ran out and I was too excited to get it done to go buy some more, I just went ahead and left 1 row of beads on. So I just used that regular twine that I get from Dollar Tree. It comes in packages of 3. It's like in the hardware or automotive section. And I stapled it to one side of the frame and then put all of the beads from both packages on, and then stapled the end to the other side. The next thing I did was cut all those long stems off of the little succulents, and I decided that the flatter succulents looked better, so I only used 3 of them, and I kind of arranged them the way I wanted. And then I turned over the frame and hot glued them on. It was that simple. And I did use lots and lots of hot glue. It sort of built up like a little dam that attached from the plant to the chicken wire. That's basically it. I am going to let it dry really, really well, and then I'm going to add another layer of hot glue. The hot glue, when it dries, it also gives the added benefit of kind of keeping the chicken wire a little bit away from the wall, so no scratches on the wall. I love this project. It was so cool, and you could make it in so many different shapes and sizes and colors, and I really thought it was super fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspires you to do some fun projects this week while you're home. If you have to stay home because of the coronavirus, get your kids and get crafting.
Climbing up mountains under desert sunsets.